What's going on? Welcome back to the vlog. Kyle Thain here, aka Mr. Thain, and this is the week in life of a teacher.
Trust me, they don't wanna know. I could go full beast mode. You really need some help. I really know myself. My happiness is sacred and I stay on that pursuit. Yeah, that's me, just me, it's me. That's all I'll be. Yeah. That's what I am. That's what I am. That's what I am.
So this week's different because I'm filming in the old layer. I'm not filming in the classroom. I didn't film in the classroom all week. Well, I didn't even bring my camera to school this week, and the reason why is twofold. I had one of those weeks where I needed to make a choice. I needed to make a choice for myself, and I needed to take care of me. And I got out of school kind of early every day for various reasons, but chief among those reasons were I needed to just get out of the space so I could think and I could process about my day, and I could take care of my body. I was kind of not feeling well as far as so I was kind of sick kind of all week a little bit, like sore throat, runny nose, earache kind of thing. But also, this week I was challenged quite a bit, and I needed to get home. So I didn't bring my camera to school. So I just wanted to kind of tell you about the whole week right here in the layer. And so it's gonna mostly be about the theme of the week, challenges that I'm having, how I'm dealing with them, and kind of goals that I'm working towards, that kind of thing. So let us begin. I have pretty darn high expectations for 5 and 6 year olds. And if you follow me on Instagram, every day I post a outfit of the day because I have all my combinations in my wardrobe, and I'm trying to see how many days in a row I can wear a different outfit combination. But in the little in the description, I try to give a blurb about my day and how it went and that kind of thing. And so this week I did post, and it was all about having high expectations and why I have such high expectations. And really, I can't say this definitively because I don't know a ton of other kindergarten teachers, but I probably have among the highest expectations for a kindergarten teacher that you could probably possibly have. And the reason why I have such high expectations is because my kids deserve to have me treat them with high expectations and hold them to those. And, I've seen the fruits of having high expectations and kids rising to them. So this is my 6th year in kindergarten, and I've only ever taught kindergarten. And I've had good years, I've had great years, and I've had hard years. And my best year ever was in year 2 of my teaching experience. And I taught in the south side of Chicago in a very, 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 very poor and crime-stricken neighborhood, and that was the best year that I've ever had. And the reason for it is because I had such unbelievably high expectations, but my kids, they rose to the challenge. And what had happened was I had students, about 4 of my students by the end of the year were reading at a 2nd grade level, and most of my class was reading at a mid-1st grade level, and everybody knew their letters, minus the couple kids that got identified for an IEP the next year. But I know what it takes. I know what it takes to achieve that level of success with students, and all those students. Most of those students that were reading at a 1st grade level came in as a blank slate. They did not know all their letters. They did not know all their numbers. They just came in as regular kindergartners. They didn't know a whole lot. And the kids that were reading at a 2nd grade level, they came a little bit higher. A couple of those students, I believe, were gifted. But regardless, I know what it takes to achieve those types of goals. And it takes a teacher to hold them to high standards. And it takes a lot of time at the beginning of the year, and it's kind of sucks, to be honest with you, like as far as from the teacher's perspective and the kid's perspective at the beginning of the year, because the way I see it is there is a certain threshold of order and balance that needs to happen and respect that needs to happen before the fun can really start. What I mean by that is when, I need you all, I need 100% to be on board with my system. We all have to, when I'm speaking, eyes on me, mouth quiet, and we will practice it again and again until we get it right. We will line up the correct way every single time. We will stand up and tuck in our chairs the correct way every single time. On the carpet, we will fold our legs and cross our hands every single time, every single kid, all day. That's the way it's going to be. If you don't like it, it's going to be hard for you because this is the way that I'm expecting it. And that's my only expectation. And that seems really rough and rigid, and it is. That seems really rough and rigid, it is. But then my kids deserve it. And the reality is, eventually, those kids that are giving you pushback, they're going to get on board because the idea is, I want to make it very clear, when you follow the rules and when you meet my expectations, we're going to have a lot of fun. And I mean over the top crazy fun. Like I do it big. When I do it big. We'll have parties. I will buy pizza for everybody, all my kids. I'll bring them big old ice cream parties. We will have, it's a lot, okay? Like we do a lot. I have a Wii in my classroom. We go outside and play. Like on Friday, yesterday, we played the ground is lava tag at recess. I took them outside and played the ground is lava tag. It was a lot of fun. And I'm needing my kids to know that, every day you have two choices. You have the choice to follow the rules and do your best, or you have the choice to misbehave and not do your best. The first choice leads to fun, success, excitement, everybody's happy, everybody being a good, happy classroom family. And the second choice leads to you having a bad time. Everybody else is not going to have a bad time, just you are going to have a bad time. If you don't get on board with this system, you're not going to have fun. You're going to be in timeout. You're going to be missing recess. You're going to be missing these parties. You're going to be getting phone calls home. It's just the way it is. And there's always exceptions, such as if we're on the carpet for 10 minutes and the kids are getting wiggly, yeah, we will take a little wiggle break or we'll be done with our activity. But when you get to the carpet, when you bring your kids to the carpet for a lesson and you just get to the carpet, you all can cross your legs. You all can fold your hands and you all can be quiet. And that's an expectation, and there's no reason why anybody cannot do that. So we're doing it. And it's as soon as you start letting little things slip, as soon as you start not making kids cross their legs, as soon as you start letting kids talk from the tables to the carpet during a transition, as soon as that kid runs from his table to his carpet, or swings on the table, or spins his chair, or does something, it's a slippery slope. And an analogy that I heard my first year teaching from my principal was, it's like a tube of toothpaste. Once the toothpaste gets out the tube, you can't put it back in. That's classroom management. It's easier. You can't get that toothpaste back. So once you lose those kids, once you let them a little bit too far, once you give them a little bit too much wiggle room, you can't get it. It's very, 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 very hard to get it back. It's easier at the beginning of the year to have really tight reins and everything is really tight and you have very much control of everything. It's easier to loosen up as the year goes on than it is to have no control and try to get everybody back. And so I like to do that. I let my kids earn choices, or they get to earn their own, they get to earn the certain freedoms or certain privileges. Just now we started listening to music during breakfast. I didn't do that for the first couple weeks, and I loved listening to music during breakfast because I wanted to make sure we had everything else down first. Make sure that we have all the other routines and procedures in place. Now I let my kids, when they're done eating their breakfast, they're able to get their own breakfast, trash, throw it away. When they're done, go to the bathroom, come back to their seats. The first 2 weeks of school, I did not let anybody out of their seat for any reason without raising their hand first. I needed to get to know my kids. I needed to know who's gonna take advantage of that freedom to just get up and walk around. And now I know, and now I can put things in place to allow that not to happen. So I had to get to know my kids before making any type of choices. Sometimes I give sports analogies for teaching, and one of them is a bad coach on a football team or a basketball team has a way of doing things. They have a certain offense or defense. And they will run that playbook no matter who's on their team. No matter who's on their team, no matter what type of players they have, or their abilities or skills, their faults, they will run the same playbook, the same offense, no matter what. And they will have years that are great, and they'll have years that are terrible. But they're not going to change their offense for anybody. A good coach will wait and see, who do I have this year on my team? What's my quarterback like? Who do I have? What types of talents and abilities are on my team? Now I'll make my playbook. We'll do this type of offense this year. We'll do this type of thing this year. That's what I do in my classroom. I wait and see what type of students I'm having, what type of personalities I have, what are my students' strengths and weaknesses, what are their likes and dislikes. Now we can get started. So now I'm in the unique position right now where I'm going to start moving forward with my curriculum. I know what students know what letters and what students don't know other letters. I know my students that can count to 100 and who can't yet. I know lots of things about my students, their personalities, their likes or dislikes, and so now I can move on and we can really dig deep into the curriculum. And I'm putting everything in place to get started with my small group instruction. We're working on computers right now. We're working on how to do computers, how to sign in their name, all that good stuff, because that's a huge component of my small group instruction is computers. But to kind of ring this back into my high expectations, I'm dealing with a couple of students that are giving me major pushback. But they're just going to have to get on board because there is no other option. Like, you don't want to sit down and do computers right now? You don't really have a choice. School, you don't come to school to choose stuff. School's not about what you want. It's not even about what I want. It's about what's best for you. It's about what you need to help you learn and succeed. And I'm going to give you that every day. I'm not interested in what you want. I'm interested in what's going to make you the best student that you can be and how you can learn the best. So right now, we're in the computer lab from 8:30 to 9 every day. Doesn't matter if you like it or not, we're here. It's what we do. No, you cannot do anything else. There's nothing else for you to do. So you have two choices. You can either sit here and do your work like everybody else, or you can just sit here and stare at your screen until the time runs out. Let it be known, if you choose choice 2, at recess, you will owe me 15 minutes of this computer program time when other kids are playing. There, very matter of fact. I'm not judgmental, I'm not young, I'm not getting upset, but my kid's turning up in the computer lab, that's your two choices. Take one. So, it's, some of my students, they're still kind of struggling with that idea that they're going to have to do stuff that they don't want to do sometimes. But the reality is, a 5-year-old does not know what's best for them. I do. So I'm kind of in charge. And towards the end of the year, when students start to get more independence and they'll gain the ability to choose certain things, I'll introduce some more flexible seating options. I'll introduce some more learning path options. Okay, you can either read or you can write, or you can do this center or that center. But I cannot do that without knowing my kids and how they're gonna interact with each other. You just kind of gotta take the year slow, one step at a time. That's what I'm working on right now. And as a kindergarten teacher, sometimes I feel like my teaching methods might suit myself for a higher grade level, but then I always remind myself, you know what? Me doing this so early in their lives, it's gonna help set them up for success later on for the other teachers that I'm working with. Last year, if you guys have been following me for a while, my last year of teaching wasn't that great. It was probably one of my most difficult years ever. I'm not making the same mistakes that I made last year. I'm taking the year slow. I'm getting to know my students. I'm building those relationships, and I'm letting them know I love them and I care about them, and that is why I'm so tough on them, because I want what's best for them, and they know Mr. Thain accepts zero foolishness in the classroom. Every day, no exceptions, no excuses. It's not playtime, it's not silly time, it's work time in the classroom, and that's what we come with every day. The attitude, once you pass that threshold, it's time to work. Yep, we're gonna have fun while we do it, but it's work time. We're not being silly, that's for at home. So that's what I'm dealing with this week. I hope you all had a great week. I hope something from this video could help you or inspire you or motivate you or give you some ideas. If you have any questions, please comment down below your questions. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can. And I hope you have a great weekend. Find your gift, share it with the world, and remember, you are worth it. See you tomorrow.